Next on Worcester News tonight, local carpenters rally in downtown Worcester to raise awareness on tax fraud practices. Plus, a Shrewsbury business is recognized for their remarkable growth. We have the owner's story of success. But first, we begin with developing news in Worcester, where neighbors on Stone Street say they heard gunshots. Good evening, I'm Anna Botari. Neighbors in the area say they heard multiple shots around 8 p.m. Investigators were in front of the S&A Mini Mart at the corner of Stone and Ward Streets. Surrounding streets in the area were blocked off. No details from police at this hour, and it appears the investigation is ongoing. A woman is charged in connection to a Clinton man's death back in February. The Worcester County District Attorney's Office says 43-year-old Jill Cormier was arraigned in Clinton District Court Tuesday on charges of assault and battery and witness intimidation. The charges are in relation to the death of Roger Bemis. The 58-year-old's body was found in his Clinton home. The DA's office has already charged 48-year-old Dean Valchez with assault and battery causing serious bodily injury. Cormier is scheduled for a dangerousness hearing on April 26th. Local carpenters hold a demonstration Tuesday in hopes of bringing attention to illegal tax practices in the construction industry. The carpenters say workers across New England are struggling because they're not on the books. Our Cam Jandro has the story.
Before the filing deadline in Massachusetts, members of Carpenters Local 336 rallied to shed light on tax fraud in the construction industry.
We not only want to create awareness to the people, but also to the towns, that we need to change and create ordinance to hold contractors accountable.
According to the union, in 2014, the state collected more than $16.5 million in lost payroll taxes and unemployment insurance. The New England Regional Council of Carpenters says an estimated 1.2 million workers are paid off the books.
Not paying workman's compensation, by paying in cash, by not paying the proper workman's comp insurance, it's just hurting us.
The NERCC says more than $2 billion in taxes will be lost this year in construction alone. This year's theme for the demonstration is #CostsOurCommunity. The goal is to stop contractors from paying under the table.
The money that's being stolen from taxes can be used to build schools, bridges, roads, and all other things. So support teachers, things that are really important for our economy and important to our society.
Now, there were similar rallies in cities like Boston and Springfield in Massachusetts, as well as places all across New England. The NERCC says their goal is to make sure that every construction worker is properly classified so they can be paid properly. Anna.
Thanks, Cam. A Connecticut woman is arrested after allegedly stealing items worth thousands of dollars from the Auburn Mall. Auburn's police chief says this woman, 24-year-old Genesis Garcia, ran from the mall after stealing $8,000 in diamonds from Macy's. Garcia is charged with larceny and unauthorized use of a stolen credit card. She'll be arraigned in Worcester tomorrow. A group of Worcester public school students want their voices to be heard. They say the district superintendent should not have had her contract renewed. But school committee members in support of Maureen Benenda say she's made improvements in the district. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
Youth activists call for an end to Maureen Benenda's time as superintendent of the Worcester Public Schools.
Extremely dissatisfied with the superintendent and the school committee as they have failed to address the larger issues of systemic racism.
10 high school students held a press conference outside City Hall, citing emergency removals, dropout rates, and disparities in discipline with Latino students as major issues.
We want that person to represent us and to stand strong for us and make sure our voices are considered through policy making.
They say they are also upset by Benenda's reaction during a presentation they gave weeks ago to the Mayor's Commission on Latino Education Equity.
She was being very disrespectful towards our presentation, murmuring under her breath, like saying that's not true or that can't be right.
Zio Alvarado and Jonathan Mora say the group surveyed students through social media on how they view teacher diversity in the district. They say after the presentation, they were questioned by their principals at the superintendent's request.
If she really cared for what was happening, like as she says she does, she would have came to us directly after the Mayor's Commission our presentation and tried to talk to us about it.
Benenda has agreed the district needs to diversify its staff and address suspensions of Latino students, but she says critics are painting an inaccurate picture of Worcester Public Schools.
I'm just going to tell the truth and move forward to work with kids, because this is, some of this is derailed.
School committee member John Monfredo backs Benenda, saying she's only improved the district these last 3 years. He says he hopes the community supports her.
She has a great work ethic. She's compassionate. She knows what she's doing. And most importantly, she's out there for the benefit of all families and children.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
The president of a Shrewsbury-based business earns a major award. Monsoon's Kitchen, Swati Alavia, says her company has come a long way since she opened more than 15 years ago. Creating all-natural, ready-to-go Indian cuisine is the idea behind Monsoon Kitchens. It's based in Shrewsbury, but serves clients all over the country, including colleges, hospitals, and most recently, grocery stores. This month, the Small Business Administration recognized owner Swati Alavia as the 2019 Massachusetts Business Person of the Year.
It feels wonderful that they recognize that we were on the cusp of getting the growth, and we had managed the business well enough that we have sustained.
Alavia is a dietitian and started her business cooking meals on her own. 16 years later, she works with a small team. She says the business grew when a large redistributor picked them up. In the last 4 years, she says they've grown more than 60%, and it's thanks to a group effort.
It's sort of a collective effort of all my employees, my customers, my vendors. So everybody has played a role along this journey.
While they've come a long way, Alavia is now focusing on expansion of their retail products. They recently launched them at an expo in California.
We have a product in a distributor, and that distributor is actually going to place it on 15 very, very fast-paced grocery stores in New York City, in Manhattan, called Fairway Markets. So and after that, we are hoping it will be at Big Y, hopefully Wegmans. I mean, those are our goals.
Winners from each state will be given their awards in Washington, D.C. on May 5th and 6th. One winner will be given the National Award. Well, now to a story we first brought to you last week. The Webster man whose roof was worked on without his knowledge has connected with the so-called phantom roofer. Jim Brown says a white van pulled into his driveway, went to the roof, shoveled snow off of it, took some shingles, and left without leaving a business card or information. After our story aired, Brown says the man in the white van came back and fixed the roof. Meantime, a local business, Superior Roofing, also reached out to Brown and assessed his roof for free, telling him there was no structural damage. Mass DOT is reminding drivers in central Massachusetts the Malden Street Bridge is temporarily closed. Drivers Tuesday had to turn around after seeing signage of the closure. The bridge on Malden Street over I-190 in Holden will be closed for 2 months to allow crews and contractors to safely and effectively repair the bridge. Traffic on I-190 will not be impacted by the construction. A massive fire is finally out in France, but portions of the Notre Cathedral in Paris are destroyed. Its structure dates back hundreds of years, and closer to home, many Catholics in Worcester say it's an image they'll never forget. Our Rosalind Flaherty has more on the church's meaning.
The devastating fire at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris is leaving local Catholics with heavy hearts.
It was tragedy as far as I'm concerned.
Very sad. People attending afternoon mass at the Cathedral of St. Paul in Worcester Tuesday say they are in disbelief and are praying for Paris.
It makes me appreciate this cathedral much more and hoping that nothing tragedy like that would ever happen to St. Paul's Cathedral.
Very sad. I really was tears on my eye.
Leonore Padilla planned on visiting the historic landmark next week.
I was so anxious to go and visit.
The tragedy comes during Holy Week, an important time for the Catholic Church.
Palm Sunday services when many thousands of people gathered there. And so many people who go to Paris will go to Notre Dame, people who may not practice the faith very regularly, and yet they will go there during Holy Week.
Ray Delisle is the Chancellor and Director of Communications for the Diocese of Worcester. He visited Notre Dame in the 1970s.
There's so many relics, there's so many pieces of art that just inspire you and inspire your faith.
According to French authorities, much of the roof collapsed, but the walls of the church remain and important artifacts were saved. Delisle says the cathedral and other landmarks across the world shouldn't be taken for granted.
We love them when we cherish them nonetheless. And so for this to happen and see the response worldwide for people coming forward wanted to be able to save it, and the commitment by everyone to say we will rebuild it, I think that's really inspiring.
Authorities are treating the fire as an accident. France's leader vowed to rebuild the cathedral, which could take several years. In Worcester, Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Hunger is an issue across central Massachusetts, and on college campuses, it's no different. A study done at Worcester State University shows 1 in 3 students struggle with food insecurities, and now other students want to help make sure they're getting the resources they need. Our Olivia Lemon has the story.
One of the things that students will sometimes sacrifice in order to pay for tuition and go to class is food.
Research done at Worcester State University shows about 1/3 of students on college campuses are food insecure.
They're not getting enough access to affordable and nutritious food.
Dr. Adam Saltzman says the school recently opened a food pantry as a way to help combat the issue on their campus.
We are officially now a partner of the Worcester County Food Bank, so we will be getting food from the county food bank as well. And the campus has been really donating so much.
Don't be embarrassed. You need food to eat to get a good grades on, do all the amazing stuff, so feel free to come in.
The campus's hunger outreach team is also working to start a program called the Swipe Bank. The school would partner with its dining services Chartwell to allow unused meal swipes to be donated to students who may need it.
The majority of the students always have money left over. A lot of students say they're not going to get that money back, so why not pay it forward to somebody else since it's not going to be of any benefit to them.
Students can actually help each other by donating a few swipes a semester to a bank, and that any student who needs them can draw on them.
Dr. Saltzman says the goal is for students to not be embarrassed or ashamed to ask for help, especially when it comes to a necessity like food.
College is unaffordable for pretty much everybody right now, and they should think about assistance for food just like they think about financial aid.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.